hold this. So sorry, it'll be distracting. Okay, so again, your answers might not be just totally, completely like all the same. Okay, you can have different things, and you can support them, and you think, and you put it down, and then we'll discuss it tomorrow. So let's talk about this first problem. Researchers waited outside a bar that they randomly selected from a list. So they randomly selected from a list of such establishments. They stopped every 10th person who came out of the bar and asked whether he or she thought drinking and driving was a serious problem. Okay. So first, let's identify the population that is intended to be generalized to. So what do you think would be the population that they're going to make this statement about? Okay, I agree that, and that's what I put the very first time, bar goers, absolutely. And the reason is because your brain is going, oh, you only have the right to generalize to people that go to bars. But, and fine. I mean, I understand if you put that answer, I would take it because I get that. The book actually, for purposes of learning on this thing, put all adults. Okay, so basically they're going to get to the point that this was a bad sampling method if you want to generalize to all adults. But technically it's like, how are you supposed to know that? So that's why I'm saying I want you to put what you think so that we can discuss it tomorrow. Okay? All right, identify the population parameter of interest. All right, so let's discuss what this thing, parameter of interest, is. Okay, we're going to do it a lot this year, parameter of interest, mostly in the second semester. Okay, the parameter of interest is basically what are you trying to figure out about the population? And parameter is like a numerical thing, like an average or a proportion. So it's typically a mean or a proportion that you are trying to figure out about the population. Okay, so it states it in this problem. What are you trying to figure out about the about all adults? Okay, good. If they think drinking and driving is a serious problem. Now, something that you might not feel comfortable with, because everybody thinks I want to get the average number of people, but it would be like the proportion of adults because they do or they don't. So what I would put here is the proportion of adults. And if you get that wrong and you put mean or proportion incorrectly, then that's fine. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Proportion of adults that think drinking and driving is a serious problem. Okay, so that's what you're trying to figure out about this population. Okay, next is identify the sampling frame. You know, I don't want you to do that on any of these. So when it asks you about the sampling frame, I think that's just one additional component that is going to freak you out and confuse you, so let's not do that right now. So what is your sample? When you get right down to it, in the end, who is it that you're going to be counting things of? The bar goers, but not all bar growers. Good. Every 10th person. Every 10th person that came out of the bar. Those are the people that make up your sample. Every 10th person that came out of the bar. All right. How about the sampling method that was employed? Can we tell from what they said what the sampling method was? What's it called? Yes, systematic, okay? I honestly can't remember about all of these ones. It could be that you can't tell. And maybe your answer on this would be you can't tell which method they used because they didn't describe it. But we know that because they did every 10th one, that they did systematic. and include whether or not randomization was employed. And so systematic is a method of randomization. You know what though? Technically, I don't know that they started at a random place. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, random. Okay, so there I knew that that was random. Okay, so yes, random on several levels, randomly selected, and hopefully they started with a random person when they did counting every 10th person. All right. Finally, identify any potential sources of bias that you can detect and any problems that you see in generalizing to all adults. And y'all already kind of have this feeling about this naturally. What's the deal? Yeah, so bar goers are biased. What are they? Your sample will not be represented. It will be under coverage. It won't be representative. I'm sorry, I can't push that up or else it just like, see, it just moves the thing. So I got to leave that there. Bar goers are biased. Your proportion of people that think drinking and driving is a serious problem will probably be what? Bit more or less than the real answer. That probably bar goers are going to think it's less of a problem because they're like, hey, you know, people can drink one and they're fine. They're not, it's not a big deal. I don't know. Or maybe they see it so much that they're like, yeah, it's a big deal. I don't know. So, but we put what we think, and it's a good thing for discussion. Sometimes on the AP test, you put what you think, and if you have supported it properly, you get credit. You can have two different answers, and if correct support is a right answer, okay? So the thing I'm trying to get a point across to you is that this is not typical math questions. You have to support and have a thinking process behind your answer, and you're good. All right? So as you do the rest of these problems tonight, I want you to keep that in mind. You're going to feel like uncomfortable about your answers, but you have a brain and you think about it, and then you're good. All right.